chain on my wrist, for real. LV on my chick, for real. Waco taking risks, for real. Went through hell to get to this, for real. I'm not pressed to making lists, for real. I stay low and stack my chips, for real. You keep looking for a flip, for real. That's not wealth, that's rich, for real. 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 Really real. Really real. Really real. Really real. For real. For real. For real. For real. No liens on the whip, for real. I get bored, I take a trip, for real. Take a loss, I never trip, for real. Been in shock, I'm not a lick, for real. Don't trust the soul, it's on my hip, for real. Make a move and you get hit, for real. No pictures by the crib, for real. Can't let them know just where I live, for real. 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 Really real. Really real. Really real. Really real. For real. For real. For real. For real. Plain Jane on my wrist, for real. LV on my chick, for real. Waco taking risks, for real. Went through hell to get to this, for real.
Trade another day.
And you know what? If it doesn't happen, and for some reason the charts change,
Trade another day.
and tomorrow I'm the biggest bear out there, so be it.
You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play. You win some, you lose some, but you live to trade another day, live to make another play.
Little trade another day. Little trade another day. Little make another play.
Win some, you lose some.
But you little trade another day. Little make another play.
Scared money don't make no money. 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 You win some, you lose some.
But you little trade another day. Little make another
Is
play.
it the bottom yet? I'm trying to buy up everything. Not gonna get upset. Just pull the trigger, let it bang. When I see a trade, I'm hopping in like a Uber to secure my future up early, just like a rooster. Eyes glued to the computer, looking for a bag or two. Market cipher on the screen, compliments of trading view. Now I know what I'ma do. Buy low and sell high. Even if you try and fail, at least you didn't fail to try. I don't wanna be the type of guy that let fear win. I'm the one that dived in head first and bust my chin. I know FOMO is a no-no, but I still get it in. Now I can't predict the future, but I know I'm bound to win. Later or sooner, I'll be the big kahuna. Cause I got big kahunas. I was not scared to get money, I took me some chances and now I'm the big kahuna. And if you scared, might as well get neuter. I'ma keep chasing my dreams. Wake up in mansion so big, I need a segue to get from wing to wing. Scared money don't make no money. 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 You win some.
Good morning all. Yes sir, happy Tuesday. Hope everyone is good and everyone is well. Let me make sure all systems go. I think it looks like it's working here. And yeah, let's get it. See what we're going on in the market. Obviously, if you guys have seen, gold has been going very crazy, man. Asian session consistently performing over since the beginning of the year. I mean, I think if you've been trading Asian session So silently looking at gold is definitely worth it. So many opportunities and just clean movements, man. Rarely, I don't think I've seen, I think maybe one. I've only seen one Asian session where it's actually pulled back. Every single Asian session just being clean continuation, right? So nevertheless, let's have a look what we got going on the charts and take it from there. Gonna start off here with the calendar here being Tuesday. We are pretty clean. We have some Euro speeches, not till 6 o'clock though. That's like late New York. Not late New York, but that's into New York after NYSE Open, about 30 minutes after that. Otherwise, yeah, clean day today. We have some Euro news tomorrow, you know, with some PMI data coming out for Euro, GBP and USD. And then we have unemployment claims a little bit later. And then we have Italian bank holiday end of the week. Won't really affect overall. And that's pretty much it, to be honest. That's pretty much it on the news. No real super major events. Unemployment claims, yeah, it is important figures, but and of course we have Trump. He's a consistent news outlet here every single day. So let's have a look at what we got going on the charts and start off with GJ. So GJ here, looking at daily time frame here, we can see that daily. I actually want to start from weekly, show you guys the weekly time frame. So previous weekly did close bullish here. It is respecting a support basically. We have not flipped. This could be the bottom wick. Right now we're sitting at weekly support, which is my line here that I have. Reason I have a box on it is if you look at daily, it's also the daily support down there and the 4-hour support. So looking at previous daily closing bearish, previous 4-hour closing bearish. It is a bearish session bias, but we are at basically what I call this is like I don't know what I call it. I haven't made that up yet. But what it is that it's 4-hour, daily, weekly, all together at one support. That's a lot, right? That's a lot to have a 4-hour support, a daily support, and a weekly support all in the same place. So it's pretty much a very strong zone. So we can't really ignore it per se. We can't take it too lightly to say that it's going to be easy to sell into it. So basically, if the sells are going to come through, you kind of want to leave that zone. We do have some supports, or we want to try trade back to it. Now, to counter bias trade today, it is possible to counter bias trade. Just want to mark this 1-hour support here. You know, it being such a strong support, you can counter bias trade, but it's always riskier. And I feel like the counter bias trade would make sense back inside of the range, back above key level, somewhere back inside here. Structure creation, getting back in the range, then you can look for that counter bias trade back inside the range. Now, if we're looking at gold here, this is the pair that's been going like crazy. I mean, Asian session delivered here quite nicely, man. Especially these options here, exactly what you want to see. Let's have a look at what, I mean, I don't need to show you weekly time frame. I think it's pretty self-explanatory what the weekly is doing. Same thing with daily. Same thing with 4-hour. This all super bullish closes. Now, one thing you have to consider is actually, yesterday London was clean. We had a clean move during London. But NY starts to get a little bit more complex. Late NY was okay, right here, after this structure was created. But inside here, a little bit more complex. And I don't know when this is going to stop. Obviously, with all of the tariffs and you know, pressure that there is on the dollar, you know, we're seeing this really heavy move towards the upside. Weekly and day has no wick. Yeah, it doesn't really matter when we have so much fundamental driven price action, right? Weekly is super far away. Yeah, of course, daily, you know, can still happen. You know, it is possible. Daily does have a wick, but weekly is really not something you are really looking at. So obviously I'm bullish bias today. Listen guys, it's tough to know when this is gonna stop, in terms of when is it gonna start to pull back a little bit. I prefer to trade on pullbacks. Really is a preference to trade on pullbacks here. But it seems like with the current price action, it's not really gonna be an option to try get in on pullbacks. Most likely gonna be trading above the highs. At least we have a 1-hour candle closing bearish. It at least gives some sort of relief here. And you know, in this type of scenario, guys, it's kind of like you take the shot. if it's the unlucky time that you do buy the highs here and it ends up reversing, you can't really be upset with that. You know, you can't really be upset with that. It's just going to be one of those probabilities. So you have to prepare yourself to understand that stuff and to understand, like, okay, fine, it's just going to be a probability if that happens, right? But as long as the volume continues, then yeah, setup 1 closes above the highs here, breakout trade's going to make sense. But if you were to buy it, and that's the time that it ends up reversing, because London has been a little bit more complex over the year. If Asian has pushed, yesterday was clean though, but we can't really say that 100% guarantees today. So realistically, breakout is the option, but if it does fail, you just have to accept that and say, okay, I'm happy to take the shot. If not, then you only trade on pullbacks, but who knows when a pullback comes after, if it wants to break out, you know, because you know, you could push 150 pips before you get like a 70 pip pullback. So it's kind of one of those situations, right? It's kind of one of those situations. We have retested key level here. We are now trying to pop up a little bit here. 30-minute resistance is above head, just about to tap that 30-minute resistance. Setup 1 would make sense above the highs, and we come back and see what happened to it. So yeah, if we're looking at now, people asking where to target, you basically target key levels is a good spot, or kind of use the range volume. What that means is, like, if your trade is a 1-to-1, size of your stop loss can be the size of your target, as that kind of dictates that volume candle can repeat. It's going to be 4,000 by summer, 5,000 by Christmas. No, don't get too euphoric here. And no, it's not really good to invest at these prices long term. You need a significant pullback if you were to invest. This is good if you're holding gold. If you're holding long-term gold, this is, you know, yeah, it's definitely good. You know, if you're holding short-term gold, this is a good, actually, take profit zone, you know. So yeah, if we were to look at DAX here, the last pair that we analyzed for the day here, we start off on weekly time frame. We can see weekly time frame creating very strong weekly support here. You know, we made the bottom wick that the last week candle lacked. Those guys in the exclusive group, if you've seen my webinar about candle wicks, that will explain this concept here. So that's a nice example. If you haven't studied that yet, make sure to go watch the video for that. But nice to see that example in place. And daily time frame here also created a resistance here. So we're creating resistance on daily. Let's bring back the daily support here. So I guess going to be mixed bias this. Bring back the daily support. We have one more here, previous daily support, PDS. And then we have one more up here as well. That's a resistance, not a support. Draw it accurately. Boom. If we go and we have big gap on DAX, yeah, I'm guessing this candle is a gap here. Let's see how it looks on broker though. Yeah. So gap fill is above head. We'll be able to adjust it based on 4-hour that resistance. Actually, it's interesting with how that gap is formed on the broker. Yeah, it's the same resistance here. So close back above previous daily support can fill the gap. Let's see if this looks the same. Okay. Wow. So from here, above these highs is a gap. Yeah, it's like this broker didn't do the holidays. That gap there is from the holidays. Even this broker didn't do it. Yeah, that's a little bit messed up. So we have to cross-check every single trade with broker, as some of the brokers paused during the holiday and some of them continue trading during the holiday, which is why this one has price action and some others don't have price action. It's kind of like this. If you look at gold here, from market open day before yesterday, it opened here. but this broker here was printing data, so it leaves this big gap. But what's really interesting about this big gap, Friday was closed, Monday was not, yeah, but some brokers ran. So for example, Forex.com ran during Monday, during Friday. That's why we have this price action here. But like my broker on my actual MT5 broker did not. So it's changed the price action. But nevertheless here, with this plan here, previous 4-hour closing bullish here, we do have mixed session bias. And for me today, if I was to look for buys, it would want to be above these highs here. Preferably above this is cleaner here. So we're going to double mark this 15. We're going to mark this here as well as a 15. There is a tight buy above here, depending on how price action forms. See, 30-minute is okay. 1 hour as well. Yeah, not the cleanest zone though. It's not the cleanest zone, but it is possible here. Now for sells to make sense, if I look at my broker here, below here is also clean. Now based on this broker, we have a little support right here. I want to see how that looks on 1 hour and 30. Not really relevant on those time frames. I mean, yeah, it's a potential to sell below the lows here. This is the first time we've actually broken out of the range. Let's see if there's that little 5-minute support here, because then I'd feel better if we could get below that 5. That is that there on my broker as well. Okay, cool. So this is there on my broker. Below here would make a lot more sense for sells, and then we don't need to get messed up in this spot, and we wait for more information and take it from there. So yeah, that's exactly what I'm going to be looking for. You know, basically inside this range, we need more information. Otherwise, I'm looking to get out of this range here, or actually out of the range from the top end here, and then start to look at how to capitalize off options. For DAX, can't you just sell already since we already broke structure? Doesn't really work like that if you look at the broker, because that candles are made a little bit different. Now, based on this chart, yes, but looking at broker, it looks completely different. It's not really something you want to do when it's the first time it broke out and so early, because this can start a pattern, especially that we've created a support. You know, we've already created a support here, and we don't know if price is going to do this. DAX sometimes likes to do this: breakout, make a new low, pull back, make a new low, pull back, make a new low, pull back. Sometimes DAX likes to do that, and in that case, breakouts would be very, very poor. You know, so we need to just see some more price action. That's why by the time we reach there, at least we would have seen what's happened. Plus, we're clearing a lower time frame resistance. You can enter based on the 5. I keep thinking about when I worked at Jewelry Factory. My boss opened a buy gold shop back in 2005. He thought was a good way to accumulate capital. It was below 500. Yeah, man, it's kind of like knowing Bitcoin was $1. You know, I mean, that's how all these assets are. But let's see what gold is doing here. That's the analysis for today. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the analysis and everything makes sense. If it does, definitely leave a like on the stream. How much of us in here? 277. Appreciate everyone showing up. Let's get this week started. Hope you guys had a good holiday, rested up. Time to get back to work, and London session on the way. So let's go. Get the likes up to 150. Would appreciate it. Remember, giveaway at 600. Let's run it back up to 600 and get that giveaway again. Share the stream, all of that good stuff. I almost bought Bitcoin in 2016 when it was 900. Oh, I was thinking about buying 10 coins to see what the heck. Oh man, I didn't do it. Yeah. The fish that got away. Yeah, it's always easier things in hindsight, you know? That's what people don't really understand. I bought Bitcoin when it was at 100 and sold when it was at 200. Yeah, I mean, that's a lot of people have done that, you know. I saw that as well. The second best time to buy is now. Oh no. This is Bitcoin maxi. It's not. Just relax. I just bought Bitcoin and told it not to be gay. Hopefully it works. You know, I posted that yesterday. You want to see something really funny? I need to see if I can get this screenshot. I posted that yesterday. And this is the result. So oh man, where's it gone? How can I open it? Open in browser. There we go. Okay, sweet. Now I got this back. So I posted that yesterday. And that one about me telling the charts the secret formula. And it got most views on most views on what's this, on YouTube. But look what happened. -1 subscriber. You know what that subscriber, I'm not gonna say anything, but you know what he is. You know what he is. I'm not gonna say anything. I've no objection, I have nothing, you know, wrong. I really don't judge, but it's made very clear. 3,000 people view it, one guy left. So we're not gonna, you know, but I don't judge, man. I'm neutral. People take shit too seriously, man. People take shit too seriously, you know. Who cares? As long as it doesn't affect me, we're good. Gold buys before the open. We need to see the close, man. You know, 5 minutes to close. We have break-even level at like 95. If we're sitting at 95, it's going to be hard. So this last 5 minutes needs to actually chill. Let's see. Do we have any 5 structure? We don't have 5 structure up to here. So you can hold a very nasty pullback. If you looked at yesterday's London move. See if we can find yesterday's London move. There's actually a very nasty pullback during that. So if you look at it, it did close above clean. There was beautiful structure here, nice range, but it actually pulled back almost to stop loss. So if you look at the fine details, you can see yesterday pulled back about 9 pips from stop loss. Now the only reason it rejected was why? Because we had this structure here. Without this structure, we could have, you know, come easily down and hit your stop loss. So with there being no 5-minute structure, stop loss is definitely going to be contested if you get no volume to continue. So it's a big risk compared to yesterday's trade, because there's nothing protecting your stop loss just below here. Because if you take the position and you put stop loss below previous candle here, there's nothing protecting that, nothing. You're basically, only thing protecting it is retest of previous range, and the retest of previous range, not that strong. So you literally needed to retest previous range and then bounce up. If it doesn't, it's game over. But by the time that happens, you're already down, you know, 30 pips, you know? So it's like, shit, I'm down 30 pips. Why don't they give you revenue? Isn't $3,000 enough? I mean, $3,000. 3,000 views enough to give you at least $1? Probably not, man. I barely get paid much from YouTube, bro. Maybe because of what I said in the video, they also don't pay because of what I said. But I'm not on YouTube to make money from YouTube. You need a lot of views for that. Gold bull run is crazy. It is, actually. It is. It's very impressive, man. It's absolutely impressive. I mean, I can't believe we're at, like, I remember trading gold back in 1900s. 1900s was a regular price to trade gold at. Like, that's my most vivid memories of gold. Like, when I think of gold, that's the prices I was used to trading, 1900s. We've traded 1900 gold on Zoom. Yes. I mean, for me, that's the most time it spent probably was in 1900. I'd like to see when we were in 1900s. This is the 1900 area. Huh? Oh, that's why. Because we spent literally... Oh, that makes sense. Because we spent from 2023 to 2024. So a whole year at 1900. And then if you just bought at yeah, 23 to 24, that's why I'm so used to it, because I spent a whole year on stream basically trading it. 1900s all the way down to 1800s. That was like for a whole year we stayed there. And then ever since, like every month you're basically seeing new highs. Yeah, it's mad. It's mad. So we tapped 95. Damn, that's a lot of volume that came into tap 95. So it's really hard to buy at 95 without structure, man. It's really risky. I mean, you can risk it for the biscuit. You can you can get out. You can get in today, like, you know, on these days when we are basically pushing so heavy, like you can get away with it. But just because we push heavy doesn't mean that there aren't going to be pullbacks, right? Like, look at these pullbacks here. Like, just this wick here, do some measuring. This wick here is like 30 pips, guys. 30 pip wick. So you're not going to get away with it if it pulls back. So you just have to be careful with that. To be very careful. 1 minute close above 95. 1 minute strat. In London. Not really tested in London. It would be valid as a 1 minute strat, correct? But has it been tested in London? No. This would be the hour close as well. Hour close looks great. 30-minute close is very strong here. 15 and 5 is where you really start to find out, okay, there's problems. But here's the catch. Yeah, 1 hour looks great, but look at the stop loss on the 1 hour. 200 pip stop loss. No, thank you. How about 30-minute stop loss? Same. 200 pip stop loss. So the time frames that have the good stop loss don't look good. So it tells you a lot. Brother, what the fuck is this you're sending? Shit, man. That's a lot of positions. Oh, monthly. Okay. I thought this was yeah, like a 15-minute, bro. I was about to rinse you saying, shit, man, why not just take one position and hold? That's what I was going to say. Like, why not just take one position and hold? Yeah, this buy right here. This buy right here. Leave it. Here's the open. So already starting with a decent size pullback. I mean, if this 5 minute can close bearish, next one close above, I feel that we could attempt on the 5. 5 would make sense in that scenario, in my opinion. Yes, more aggressive on the 5, but I don't mind because we have 1 hour closing bullish, we have 30-minute closing bullish, we have 15 closing bullish. All we need is the 5 confirmation, something closing above 95. If this was at NYSE, New York Stock Exchange Open, I probably would even push it to the 1 minute here. 1 minute can be an option in London, but I just not tested as much as I have in NY. First trade of the week, not really want to test anything. But the 5 would be perfect here. One minute entry on high volume time. It's a bit more of an advanced concept. In the exclusive group, there's a video called the 1 minute strategy, gold strategy, that explains it all. I really don't recommend you use it unless you know what you're doing and understand how the 1 minute works and when to use it, etc, etc. Otherwise, you're just going to be messed up, because every situation where you feel like price is pushing, you're going to make an excuse to take a trade on the 1 minute, because, oh, price is pushing, I'm taking the trade on 1 minute. And then you just use that as an excuse to FOMO into moves, right? So it really is a fine line you have to play, because you don't want to use it as an excuse to FOMO into moves. Morning, good morning, good morning. Would you consider 3 minute for this setup? Nah, 3 minutes not really a tested time frame. I mean, you'd have to go and test at least 50 trades to see how it works, you know? Like, this not really a time frame that I use too much. I don't use it at all, 3 minute, you know? Those are like the exotic time frames, you know? They make it popular in ICT trading and like 3 minute entry, you know? So you can go back test that yourself if you would like to consider 3 minute entry. But when we're entering 90%, not 90, but let's say 80% of my trades are coming on the 15, I don't think it's something I need to add, because I think you can kill two birds with one stone by having the 5 and the 1 minute. That's like, you have a time frame that is even lower than the 5, and you have 5 minute, which is kind of in the middle. So to add the 3 in there doesn't really, I don't see the benefit long term. Maybe, yeah, 1 or 2 moves you might miss that you could have caught on the 3 minute. But then how many moves would you have missed on the 5 and 1 trying to focus on the 3? You know, you just get confused. You know? Because then you should start trading the 8 minute, you know? Amazing webinar yesterday. Thanks for the value. Yes, you guys need to watch that webinar. If you guys and Exclusive have not watched yesterday, we did a very special webinar, mindset webinar called Identifying Yourself, how to identify yourself as a trader. What is the mindset you need to have? And very important webinar. It was a presentation. Go ahead and have a look at that. The recording's already there in WAP. The webinar from yesterday is also uploaded if you would like to watch the rest of the webinar, but the mindset part just by itself is already uploaded in the psychology section of WAP. So check that out. I really recommend you watch it. So for me, I would like to see a 5 now. This is exactly what I wanted to see, is a resistance made. Now we have some sort of structure. Now we just need to clear that 95. Think of the 95 as like a 15-minute resistance. 95 is now like a 15-minute resistance. So you don't want to buy at resistance, right? So we treat it the same as, let's say that was maybe a 4-hour resistance. So we don't want to buy at 4-hour resistance. We can see the reaction happening at resistance. So we want something closing above resistance. Use the 2 minute. It's cleaner than the 1 minute with higher quality, in my opinion. That's my whole point. That's my whole point, is you will just keep finding excuses of what time frame to use. I don't use the 1 minute. So I stick to mainly higher time frames, as the lower time frames is where the majority of the mess is, and where long term you will find yourself in difficult situations. The 1 minute is very useful. The lower time frame is very useful for tracking a trade. So while you're in a trade, being able to see what's happening. And secondly, if there's a big trending move, heavy move, and you're trying to find a way in, you can get a way in. But keep this in mind. You can trade the 1 minute, no problem. It's personally not my favorite style. But trading the 1 minute without higher time frame confirmation, gonna make you lose. Right? Based on what I've seen, based on the time I've been in here in the market and the experience that I've had, I've not seen a profitable 1 minute trader, right? The ones who I have seen, right? The ones who I have seen are not around anymore, but they were profitable when they were trading. I'll give them that. But they all used higher time frame as confirmation. They just used 1 minute to find an entry. It's just the style they preferred to do. They like to use the higher time frame, but just use 1 minute for entry. So it's not like impossible. No, it's definitely possible, but you have to have the right mindset to use it. Many people use the 1 minute as an excuse to FOMO in a move, and that's where the problem becomes. Hi, maybe stupid question, but do wicks count on all time frames? Well, wicks on lower time frames are candles, right? So if we went to like a 1 hour, this wick here on a 1 minute is going to be candles. You can see that here. Look, see? So wicks on are candles on lower time frames. That's why they can act as resistance, because check this wick out. Look where, so on 1 hour, this is a wick here, right? This is a wick, but on 1 minute, these are candles. And these candles acted as a resistance. So that's why we say that sometimes a wick fill, the target is the top of the wick. Why do we say the target is the top of the wick? Because wicks are candles on lower time frames, and it might be reacting off a lower time frame zone. Doesn't mean it's going to reject and reverse the move, but you can see reactions. So there is importance to wicks, you know. I did the hard work to bring from 7.5 minus 7.5% drawdown to 3%, then suddenly went into tilt and breached daily loss limit. I know I should have done that. Feelings low like a rotten tomato. Yep, unfortunately, this is how most people slip up. I'd say time and time again. It's a pill you'll have to swallow, and the mistake you made, you know. At the end, you're Batman. It's not the end. Damn, you know. So it's a tough lesson, yeah. You know, you reverse all of your progress in one shot, you know. You reverse all your progress in one shot. But that's that talk. Yesterday's webinar, I talked exactly about this. If you listen to yesterday's webinar, I talked about how you will put in the work to recover yourself from drawdown and then feel like you're owed something and then rush the process. Remember when we talked about that, guys? About that taking 2 bad trades? You know, how that can cause you. This is an example of what happens, right? So unfortunately, you have to pick yourself up and go at it again. The fact which I also mentioned yesterday's webinar is that at these times you'll tend to forget all of the good things you did and focus just on the one bad. So yes, the one bad is an expensive bad. So you have, unfortunately, our good things are not expensive goods. They don't reward us well, right? When we do something good, it normally doesn't reward us too well. But when you do something bad, it's very expensive, right? It's very expensive when you do something bad. So yes, although the bad has made a drastic difference than all of the good in results, right, on paper, but in terms of work ethic, being able to recover yourself from minus 7.5% drawdown to plus 3% is a win in itself. The progression that was made during that time is definitely something that should not be forgotten. And I think a lot of people will forget about that during that type of period, you know, but normally that gets clouded because, you know, you forget. GJ close below. Yeah, I haven't been looking at GJ. Fuck you, what's this, man? Look, telling me this is good close below. Terrible. Straight at 1 hour support. Disgusting. No thank you, DJ. DJ is being... I won't say it because now I'm getting slowly banned. Can you please tell me what lot size I should use if I have a 12K account? I think you should withdraw your 12K account. Spend $50. Actually, no. Spend $0 first. And watch my free risk management course. That's the first step everyone should take here. If you ask that question, you should quit using real money for now. Right? Then if you actually want to seriously make money, you can go and join the exclusive, which is actually not open now. It's actually closed. Yeah, there we go. I don't know why. I probably left that open from last week. So, but this is on waitlist, so you have to wait. And I'll show you something, guys, later, but I'm just a bit focused now. Bit focused on this 5-minute close here. Stop loss would be about 50 pips here. How does 15? 15 will close like this type of candle. 30-minute would break the high. Yeah, about 1 minute to close. I have to wait for the close here with 1 minute 30 seconds to close because I need the confirmation of something above. Now, in an aggressive sense, I could run the 32 pip stop loss, but that feels very aggressive to me. I think I need to run it minimum below previous 15. Yeah. Safer below previous 15. Is a bigger stop, but ranges have been pushing pretty big. I mean, target is 50 pips here. It's a big move. I rather depends on the bottom wick. We could actually run the tighter stop here for 30 pips, but it will have to depend on the bottom wick. And of course, do we actually close above? So if small bottom wick, I'll run the bigger stop loss. Big bottom wick, smaller stop loss. So let's see in 30 seconds if price wants to close above. Ah, that's nasty. That's very nasty. Oof. Last 20 seconds, man. Very unfortunate, man. Really nothing you can do about that when it happens. It's just very nasty. Last 20 seconds. There's no way I really enter. I would have waited 20 seconds, man. It's just 20 seconds. You know, maybe 2 minutes before, yes. But 20 seconds? 20 seconds is a must. That's just unfortunate, man. We didn't get that in London yesterday. That's a 25 pip push. Yeah, it's really tough when you get a 1 minute candle like that. No problem. You stay professional, stay calm. Nothing you can do. That's how it works. I mean, freaking hell, man. Next number is 2500, man. 2500 is what's next, which is pretty nuts to me. I mean, now that we've crossed this, 2500 is next, man. Whew. What a number. I mean, not 2500, 3500. I'm so stuck back in the 2000s that I don't even realize we're at 3500, man. Imagine how many people took this trade break of high. You know how many people took this trade break of high? I'm telling you, too much FOMO. Took a break of high. They ran tight 1 minute stops, or they're running no stops probably. Now they're probably going to emotionally close and draw down, or they're going to beg and hold. And then if it starts dumping from here. Thing is, on a day like today, they get away with it, really. Like if they're going to get away with that type of behavior, it's going to happen today. You know, on like these type of days. Gold is nuts at the moment. Yeah, it is pretty nuts. It's just a shame last 20 seconds. I wish it was doing it like 5 minutes before. If it was doing it at least 3-4 minutes before, we could just enter break of this high here, relying on the 5 minute confirmation of a bullish candle. But with 20 seconds, I'd feel stupid to enter 20 seconds. I'll feel stupid to enter 20 seconds before and for it to close below. And then I'm stuck in drawdown. You know, it would feel a little bit stupid 20 seconds. I took it SL below 1 hour. It's massive stop, man. You have to really consider, is it worth it your time? You know, taking something with a 1 hour stop. Yes, it's correct. It's not wrong, but is it worth your money to buy the highest point of the day? Think about this logically, Alexi. You are buying the highest point of the day, okay, with a 200 pip stop loss. So just to get paid a 1-to-1, Price has to push to 25.16. You know? 25.16 to just get a 1-to-1, huh? 25.60. I mean 35.16. Holy shit. I'm so not used to these prices. Really, my brain is completely wired towards, you know. So, yes, although on pip wise, right, you can flex on Instagram. I'm up 100 pips. You're only up 0.5%. You know. Reduce lot size for what? For which one, bro? It's a pretty nice 1 minute close here, but then again, no bottom wick, so you wouldn't have been able to enter. This would be your aggressive 1 minute strat. Look at this. This, you know what? Why we're rejecting here, not at 500? We're front running the people who have sell orders at 500. So a lot of guys like to get out just before 500 because they know a lot of people are going to be having sell orders at the 500. So you see a bit of people front running. Now, there's one thing I have noticed is that these front runs. Now, this could be Owanda hit 500. Let's check broker. Let's check broker. Gold. Hover over the candle. Where's my tool? Why doesn't it show me the open, low, high? Oh, there it is. Open, low. Oh, hover. Give it to me back. Give it back. Oh, there it is. High 35.12. So we did tap. We did tap. And this is the reaction. Holy. All that move up has been retraced. Now the question is, do we have the power to continue the move up, or is that it? Is that it? Is 3,500 the target for London? We don't know. We don't know yet. You could gamble that. You could gamble that right now and try the 1 minute. Just buy the 1 minute straight here like this. Bottom wick. Buy the 1 minute straight and gamble that this is not the low for London session. Put a tight stop, you know, and take a quick gamble. 13 pip stop. But it's rough. You know? 35 is a big number. It's a big number. The only thing that puts me off. If it was like a 95, 85, 75, 65, whatever. 3,500, 500. It's like a, you know. Oh, no wonder we tapped. Yes, yes. Anyways, at least it's solving it for you, right? It's dumping without breaking the high, so it's been a bit kind. So it solved the equation for you, which is very nice. How's DAX doing, Mr. DAX? Nice little liquidity grab to this 5. This is why I wanted below this 5. If you took it, I mean, this would have been a position that a lot of people take. This close below the 5, break of low. But again, they're not considering previous levels. You just put one line, and it looks super clear now. Ah, that makes sense why we rejected. You see? Super clear. So we keep an eye on it. Keep an eye on that as well. If this closed below the 1 hour, maybe. But look at this range, man. Absolute dog water, bro. Dog water. Oh, beautiful pullback though. It is good for us. I think that's almost 100 pip pullback from the high. 85. Wow. Wow. See, this is what I mean. It's some big volume, boys. It's some big volume. Are you trading? Isn't London session after 40 minutes? Yeah, but it's a big misconception that you trade after London Open. It's not actually the way. You don't want to trade after London. You trade leading to London. You can trade after London Open, like for DAX and stuff. It's typically also a good time. But leading to London session, very strong. Wow. Check that pullback out. hopefully this gives us this gives us more opportunity to buy this back up, because this is a big boy. You know the amount of money that's being sold right here, man. Some people are really cooking, man. 130 pip push in a couple of 1 minute candles. It's a lot of money that's been taking our profits, and we can be part of that too. All you have to do is wait for. I'm just happy we don't FOMO, right? A lot of people would have FOMO'd into this high here. Remember what I told you about the guys on the 1 minute? They FOMO in, break of high. This is such a classic. I would love to show you this, guys, the mentality of how a FOMO trader would work right here. And many of you guys won't notice this. So let me show you this, how this works. So you get the trader who was once disciplined. He's waiting for a close above this zone here. The close doesn't happen and it pushes heavy. He feels the need to FOMO, so what does he do? He enters break of the high here. No stop loss, of course, because he's, you know, FOMOing in. Goes into drawdown, starts to sweat a bit, but no stop loss, marries the trade idea. After marrying the trade idea, trade does what? Goes back very close to break even. If he's nervous, he closes at break even. If he's just holding on, he will wait and see. The next candle was pretty easy because it pushed past his entry. So now he's probably thinking to himself, if this comes back to my entry, I'm going to get out at break even and call it quits, right? But what ends up happening is it's looking too good now. So that doesn't become an equation. Next candle opens, pushes higher, and now he's 100% satisfied this isn't going to come back. He sees this start to flip and he doesn't close at break even. He waits for a reaction at this point. No reaction happens. Just keeps dipping lower and lower and lower. He has no stop loss, and before you know it, he's down 80 plus pips. Now this support is formed. He's like, okay, should start to go back up. Dumps, no top wick. This top wick kept him hopeful that this should have been flipped, and it just dumped, and he's 80 plus pip down. No stop loss, and that's it. Either account gone there, or just take a really big loss all at once. And probably right now he jumps back into a sell, and it should start probably retracing a little bit at some point. Actually, what if you put a sell order at those major key levels, maybe from hundreds, 500, we see form a reaction of it? Yeah, I think it's valid in some sense. The 500s and the like maybe 3,000, 3,500, you can put it. The problem is how much does it wick past? How much does it wick past the level first? Because I've seen price sometimes, like go check some of these levels, like 450. Where was 450? Here was 450. Like it just absolutely blasted through 450. You know? No problems. Might only be on 500s. Well, look at 3,000. I think it has to be a specific scenario, because you see here in 3,000, but we've tapped 3,000 so many times. So I think maybe, you know, maybe the first time you tap it, then it makes sense. That's what I did, no stop loss, and now my account is gone. Yep, I can expect that, man. Again, I recommend all of you guys, please watch my free guys. It costs you nothing. I don't understand why people don't do this. I made this video because it's painful for me, for people to blow hundreds, thousands of dollars and not get anywhere. Like it's mind-boggling to me that people do not want to pay to avoid that, but are happy to lose thousands of dollars. You know, and I know it's in the hopes to make money on the other side, but really the hope to make money on the other side is to actually know what the hell you're doing. So please just go watch this free. It doesn't cost nothing, guys. Free risk management course, please. I'm posting it in chat. Just watch it. It doesn't cost, but the whole reason I did that is to stop that. Bank of America released most unusual statement today, saying investors were getting too gold heavy. Big bearish move would come. Today would not be surprising. Yeah, if that happens, New York, we can start to sell. We can start to sell during even London's a bit early, I would say. You know, London's a bit early. DAX giving the close. Yeah, 21.99 here, coming back towards the top of the range. We have this level here, which is like a watch level. I think it's a 30-minute as well around here. It's not the cleanest in here. Yeah, it is the 30-minute here as well. It's not the full cleanest in here, but it could be enough to get a push. 5-minute has some form of structure down here, so that's where your ideal stop loss is going to be. So you have to base this on 15-minute. And I don't think it's worth on 15 minutes. 46 for 20. Oof. Because the 5-minute resistance is actually a little bit higher, guys. 5-minute resistance is right here. So let's see. 2 minutes here. Wouldn't be bad for this to close bearish, next close bullish, next close bearish, and then the next one close above. As long as the 30 closes above the resistance, it looks okay. You know, to get what I talked about. Ideally, you just, like, based on a 15, it makes sense, but I have to trust that price. I mean, I could break even at 8 points here. It's a close break even, but it's enough to get to break even. Let's see if I can run something a little bit smaller, like this. Why not mark the 30 where you drew the box? A visual thing, man. I prefer not to have so many lines. Kind of clouds my judgment. So when I put a box, it's there, so I still see it, but it's faint, so it doesn't cloud my judgment. Damn, last 1 minute pushing. At least it's going to tap the 15 and 30 now, so we're going to know if we're going to see a reaction or not. We're going to know if we see a reaction, but stop loss is already too big. The good thing is, though, guys, we have a lot of range towards the upside here. We have this range here to capitalize off. So we do have room if DAX wants to start pushing up. I'm not too worried about the room we have. Again, it's just going to be a stop loss placement. Test. What are you testing? My rules are max 1% big account, 3% small account. That's good. Yeah, or dollar amount. Risk just a standard dollar amount. I explained that all in the free course, you know. I wonder if I made this free risk management course $5, would people take it more seriously to actually go and watch it and use it? It's like a psychology, I read about it. Like if you give something for free, people take it for granted, they're not going to implement it. If you charge $5 for it, it will be like, okay, this may be something I need. It's true. Yeah, I've seen that happen. I mean, $5 seems too cheap. Well, the whole point is that I don't need the money from that. It would be more. I've already done it for free, right? But it would be more to encourage people because I actually want to save people money. That $5 can save them 500, you know? Like, it's crazy to me the amount of money people spend blowing accounts when they can just get proper education for very cheap. So yeah, closed above here, guys, but stop loss placement is going to be a problem, obviously, right? At the end of the day, your trades need to make sense in terms of risk to reward, guys. If you're just taking a random trade because there's a setup, you know, you're reducing probabilities, because in order for it to make sense to be paid, you're going to need to put a stop loss in a random place, and that's how you start to get stopped out. I used to do that all the time just to take a position. I used to be like, trade makes sense, price closed above, entry is there, but I'm going to skip about using a proper stop loss, and guess what happened? Just somehow probabilities would change and end up losing the position, and it would take my stop loss just for it to end up playing out later in the day. So I actually started tracking how many times my idea would play out compared to my outcome. So my outcome used to be like 40% of the time I would win the trade, but 80% of the time the idea and plan that I set out in the beginning of the session would play out. So that told me that my analysis and plan is not a problem if it's working 80% of the time. It's more about my timing of entry and my stop loss placement. So this taught me a lot trying to gather that data, and this is where I learned to be like, let me not enter on those positions if it doesn't statistically make sense based on stop loss placement, because that has affected my probabilities in my trade. Right? And this is how it becomes a game of probability and statistics. You either play the game or you lose to the game. It's your choice. And I'll tell you which side I chose to pick eventually after learning the hard way. But you guys don't have to learn the hard way, as I'm telling it already. When people see something for free, they don't take it seriously. Take the videos on your YouTube channel as example. It's really good, gold mine, and yet people think that it's just for ad, not that good. Yeah, but the same thing can be said. Look at these guys' mindset. They're happy to invest $100,000, $2,000 into a personal account and blow it, but scared to invest $50 to gain better information. So even when you charge, they're scared to pay $50 because they have their personal ego that it's not going to be worth it. Not you, obviously, and the people in the group, but you can see how it works both sides. And they're the same people who turn around and say, okay, this is why, and then they're the ones who fail and then complain, you know? So it's that whole mentality, you know? It's like that flip mentality that, hey, I rather gamble my money away in the hopes that I get lucky rather than actually learn the skill and try to preserve my money. Because let's face it, 90% of people will lose money when you start. Who here has not lost money since they started trading? Like came into trading and has only won? You know, I think it's a very small percentage. Very small percentage. You know, I really can't imagine it's a big percentage. So if that's the case, and you know that most of the time you are going to be a losing trader to begin with, why not position yourself instead of blowing money to preserve as much money as possible while increase the chances of you making money? That would have been, if I had a choice to go back and change something in my trading, that would be exactly it, to preserve the money and then come at it after the skill while still spending money. You need to take losses, you need to feel losses, but you don't need to blow random money. I mean, the first live account I started was 25 grand. There's no need for that. There's no need for that, especially at the level I was at, you know? It's like, why do I, just because I had it and I was doing well in crypto, I put it in. But that's the same thing, you know? There was no need for that. If I just worked on a smaller account, proved my skill, preserved, set a budget for the year, I would have been a lot better and got things done a lot faster, right? Have the right guideline, be accountable to people, have a strong community around to help me. That would have been, you know, in the beginning, what I would have needed right from the beginning, you know? So all of the people watching this have that option. Everyone has that option, but they choose not to take it because they make an excuse. I don't have money, right? That's the excuse is I don't have money to either pay for that, or I'm saving money to invest in my own personal account. But they don't realize that the money that they invest in their own personal account will just they'll just lose it most likely anyways, because they're not good enough at the skill. Especially if they haven't traded live before, they don't have the practice. And this is the spiral they get into. And they make an excuse, I'm too broke, I can't afford education, I can't afford this. If you can't afford that stuff, you need to stop there sitting and complaining and being such a pussy. If you can't afford $50 in a month, you are fucking not in a good position in your life, and you need to change that. Stop complaining. No one's here to give you a helping hand, right? It's you versus you. They're not handing envelopes out. You know, you have to go make a change. You're the only person who can change that. Stop waiting for something to change. Stop waiting for something to happen, you know? And stop trying to say my only hope is trading. I'm going to try scavenge $1,000 together, scavenge $500 together, put it in an account and flip that to 20K. That's not happening for the majority. That's probably not happening for you. Because when you're broke, when you don't have money, luck is against you. Don't you notice that? When you want things to go your way with money, they don't. You feel like luck is against you. It's strange how that works, because it's not luck, it's lack of skill. You don't need luck if you have skill. Luck in business, in life, in trading comes down to the timing you're going to get things down. Because luck will help someone get somewhere faster, but it doesn't make them from zero to hero. Because without luck, it's just time. With luck, you can get things shorter. Think about it this way. This is the easiest way I like to explain it. Okay? Is that you invested in Bitcoin 5 years ago. For two of those, if you invested 5 years ago, let's say 6 years ago. If you invested 6 years ago, okay, 6 years ago, for 1 year, you would have had to wait in loss for 1 year. You would have said, I'm unlucky, this sucks, blah, blah, blah. If you invested a year later, you would have invested and it would have gone straight into profit. Both of the people, the person who had to actually spend 1 year in loss would have made more money than the person who got lucky on the correct timing. So realistically, it wasn't bad luck. It was just a matter of time. But the guy who invested had good luck in order that he got results a little bit faster. But it never changed. The outcome was the same. Both people made money. Moral of the story, buy BTC. Why not? Let's see what DAX does here, man. Let's see what DAX does here. Hopefully we can get some sort of structure. That's what we need right now. Something needs to close bearish. We have a 5-minute resistance up here. So if we're going to take a trade based on the 5-minute, we need to base it on the 5-minute. And to take something on the 5-minute means we need to be above the 5-minute resistance. So anything closing bearish here or some sort of resistance, next one closing bullish will be great. If it's just going to push like this, like a train, it's going to make it our lives a little bit more difficult here. So we're kind of hoping for something here, hoping for something just to give us a stop loss. You could be the risky guy and say, hey, I'm just going to take it with no pullbacks. But there is craziness. Who remembers on stream right now? I need to see everyone on stream. Right? I need to see everyone on stream. Who remembers the amount of drawdown we held in some of the trades in the past few weeks? Some crazy 1 hour long drawdown. Right? The only reason we survived was because of what? What did it respect the whole time? Exactly. Structure. Structure. We stayed calm. I was able to stay calm because I had it. With this type of position, I can't stay calm. I feel like I'm gambling. Now, maybe if you're risking low amounts, but once you start risking some heavy amounts, then it really makes, you feel like that. Can you briefly explain what you get for $50 a month? Everything. You get my full free course. You get to trade with me live. You get priority questions. You get to watch the streams without delay. After the streams end, we have Zoom. That's your time to open the mic or ask in chat if you're shy and get personalized, like basically one-on-one. You get bonus rants. You get weekly webinars. You get daily tech support. You get NY sessions. You get NY plans. You get daily NY chat. You get backtesting chat. I mean, the list goes on, man. The way I made it is everything that I wish I had when I started and everything I struggled with, I put it in the group. That's it. All from experience, not opinions. And one thing I would like to show you also, guys, is there's a few changes potentially coming to the group. If you notice here, we're back on waitlist. We've been on waitlist for since last week. But you'll see something. When you press join now for the waitlist, it will take you to the checkout page, okay? But look what pops up here on the checkout page is this. You have to write a short description of why you want to join. So there's going to be, maybe I'm experimenting entry barriers to join the group. Not random people can join. They have to say reasons. If I see a reason, I want to flip my $100 account to 1,000, denied. You are denied from the group. So there's really, levels that it's going to be more and more difficult in the future to get into the group. So this is what I'm going to be starting to do. And even the group is not maxed out. We are still at the regular members, Right now in Zoom, we have 70 members. So it's not like the group is super busy. But you basically will have some sort of requirements to meet there. If you're writing a short description like get rich, that's it, kicked. You're not going to be given a chance in, unfortunately. Now we will have times where it will be a free for all, but I will limit those, so you don't have to wait on waitlist, because waiting on waitlist, maybe it takes a week for you to get in, maybe it takes this. So the sooner you guys join waitlist, the more you get in, and then we will have days where we launch it. When we launch the group, there'll be, maybe I'll reduce them to only something like 5 spots. And that's a free for all. You can join and you get to avoid waitlist, right? So make sure that you're doing that. And yeah, I'm telling you guys, this really is you can see, if I was just here to push money, then I would definitely not put those parameters, you know. So for those who've been asking me recently, that's how you do it, okay? That's how you do it. So I'll post this in here for you guys. That's the official link. You can have a look, join the waitlist if you wanted to join. Everyone should watch risk management video, completely answer the questions from that one who can pass to join the group. Yes. All right, what happened to my mouse, bro? Yo. Fuck's sake, man. Mouse is not working. Come back. Okay, it's back. Low battery after CS stream. Charge the mouse. Mouse is charged. Just some sort of connection. Make sure you leave a like on the stream, guys. $400 of you in here, 100 likes. We can get at least to 200. Let's go. Goal is 600, guys. Big giveaway, exclusive group, funded account this time. This one's a little bit bigger than last one because we're going to do a funded account as well. So if you're interested in winning a funded account, support the stream. We're here every single day showing you transparent trading. Not many people have done this long in London session. One of many few, you know, and I'm really proud. I think it's a pretty cool achievement. And let's see what DAX does here. So we're getting a close here. We could run 15-minute stops, but again, there's still no structure here. But we have very good lower time frame structure. But I have seen on DAX, even with no lower time, even with lower time frame structure, it just ends up getting cooked. Ends up getting cooked. But we could try it. It definitely is something we could try, but it has to close above. We're seeing 16 seconds. Bigger the bottom wick, the better. What are we looking like? 21 points. Target here is definitely enough target. Let's double check 30-minute. Double check 1 hour. Oh, that's such a, what? I don't know. That's just like, how does that open like that, man? Like, there's no way you can enter that, bro. There's absolutely no way. Like, what a party pooper that is, man. What a party pooper. What disrespect? What? That's just disrespect. It's like there's a gap there, bro. Just open gap. There's no way you can enter that. You be triggered in the moon, bro. You be triggered in the moon, man. Where price is right now is probably where you be triggered in. It's okay, though. That's part of the game. But it's just annoying. This happened now 3 times. It's happened once on gold this morning. It's happened down here as well when we were looking for the close above this one. And now it's happened right here. Previous weeks, DAX slowed down 20-30 minutes after Frankfurt opened, lacking volume, then picked up volume 1-2 minutes before London opened. Today, all different. Yeah. I do remember it's been slow, but the good thing is it respects structure. So as long as you just sit in it, when the volume comes in, you get TP. It's not like it's been reversing, right? It's not like it's been reversing 20-30 minutes. So letting it lose volume is fine. Maybe it's the Pope is manipulating the prices. Yeah, I don't think we should make fun of that. Not really something to talk. Yesterday turned out okay, but now today's crazy. Big banks a long time off. Yes. Indeed. Gold is crazy. Let's see what gold is doing. It's okay, actually. It's inside the range. We might actually be able to get a setup 2 here. Might be able to get a setup 2 here. Only thing is, how close do we get to the 30-minute resistance? Why don't you trade futures instead of Forex pairs? Because of my broker. I'm happy with my broker. But if I was in US and just trading futures pairs, then I would use a futures broker for sure. Makes sense. I could trade gold on that. I can trade. I think they do support DAX as well. I wouldn't be able to trade GJ though. But I don't trade it too much these days anyway, so it wouldn't really bother me that. But I don't want to split two accounts. I don't see there having a reason. Yeah, it's a great push here on DAX, man. It's just a shame it's done it in such a unorderly fashion. I mean, the last time we had structure was from down here. But that's okay. That's part of the game. Do you also trade all-time high? Yes, of course. I like all-time high. I think it's one of my skills that I think I'm pretty, not unique at, but pretty confident at. A lot of traders don't know how to trade all-time high. I feel very comfortable at all-time high. For me, it's very straightforward. I think it comes also from my crypto days, because I used to trade Bitcoin at all-time highs quite a lot. But it's just something I'm extremely comfortable with. It's interesting that previous 15 becoming relevant right now. So that tells us that buys above there, no matter when that happens. Maybe New York is going to be a nice spot. If it happens in London, even better, because then we can get something today. Which I'd prefer to be done by London. It's always a nice thing to be done in the morning. I have no BTC. Would you say it's good to buy BTC right now? You should have layered in when we were in the 70s. 88s is too high for myself. Not really a spot, but down here when we were dumping here, you had two chances at the 75. That's where you can start to layer in. That doesn't mean it can't come back. Definitely can come back. We could actually see a quick sweep to back to all-time high and then another dump. But this was not a bad layer spot. Think about it this way. This dump here was kind of like when the stock market also took a dip, right? So when we had the stock market dip, where's Nasdaq? Right, when we had the stock market dip, that's the same thing, right? This, if you look at it, it's very similar pattern. Double bottom, reversal. If you look at Bitcoin, we had the same double bottom reversal. So it was the same as buying the stock market at that low. How come that 15-minute on gold is still relevant, passed through 2 times? Because it's just recent price action. There's, at these high prices, there's absolutely no structure. So since we have, like, imagine in this whole area, that's the only structure we have. Nothing on 4 hour, nothing on daily, nothing on this. So it just sometimes likes to make it relevant. The main reason actually is because this is considered a range. That's the high of your range. This is the low of your range. We broke out the range, faked out back in. So it's still respecting the highs of the range. Where are you from, if it's okay to ask? You can search my last name in Google. You'll be able to see my family history. So it's quite a mixed history. If you type Sharpe, which is my last name in Google, you'll be able to see what type of history we have. But it's originally British. Just type it in Google. You'll be able to see. Sharpe. There's actually a movie series made on our family history about fictional British soldier in the Napoleonic Wars. He started off as a surgeon serving in Portugal. So actually our family history is very involved into war. So we got mixed a lot. And actually, technically, we're not actually British. Anyways, we don't need to get into that. We're actually more from the Scottish side. But the movie series is not really our family history, but it is, we are involved in war, that's why. And I guess someone in my bloodline created the Sharpe ratio. So that's pretty cool that we were connected to markets somehow from before, and I found my way into that. Mr. Dax, what are you doing here, Mr. Dax? Don't be... You're being depressing. Some structure, DAX is basically, I think, all done for the day, to be honest. Once you have a push like this, unless London pulls back very heavy, it's basically done for the day. We've already had a very decent push here. Alexi, how did you manage your gold trade, man? I hope you managed your gold trade here. This is the point. Not really enough, right? See, if you had a small stop loss, right? If you had a small stop loss, you know, 40 pips would be enough to say at least I'm break even. You see? It's a big difference. Because if your stop loss was like 50 pips, you would say, okay, at least I'm break even. GJ in the zone? Yes, GJ is in the zone. 5 minute has structure, which is good. 1 hour will close here, which is nicer to see the 1 hour close in 6 minutes. 30 minute will also give that same close. Again, counter bias and on GJ. I live in Australia. I've been killing 500 pips a day in Asia market. Yeah, Asia on gold, just close your eyes and press buy. I mean, if we pull back overnight, I will get up for Asian. So if I'm late to stream tomorrow, you guys know why. But it's really early. I have to get up at like... problem is that once I'm up, I'll have to be up. So I won't get much sleep. Because I normally finish working around 10:30 p.m. my time. So I'll sleep from 10:30. I'll get to sleep by 11:30, 12:30, 1:30, 2:30, 3:30. 4 hours should be enough. Get up at like 3:30, trade till about like 6. So 2.5 or 2 hours is enough really. 5:30 I can finish trading. And then I could actually go to the gym after. That would be pretty cool because if I get a meal. Go to the gym pretty early, man. 6 o'clock and then come for stream. It would fuck me up though. It would fuck up my schedule very heavily. But I don't know if I can wake up, trade, and then go back to sleep. Especially when it's 4 hours is enough sleep. I mean, I'm not saying consistently. I'm saying for a day or so, you know, just to try capitalize off the move, you know. I'm not saying every day. No, you need 7 hours. Yeah, my schedule will be messed up. But if it's worth it, you know. Like literally, if you buy Asian session yesterday and leave a runner today, look where you're at. You know. It's very simple. This is Asian session yesterday. Very simple. Anything. You just need to really just actually kind of almost FOMO into Asian. Don't be scared of big stop loss. Even this shit here is easy. We do it and see it retrace. That's my one fear, you know. Is the time I freaking touch it. Ranges. Imagine. Sitting watching it range. It's 3 a.m. here. I wake up at 1:30 to catch a stream and then back to sleep at until 8:30 a.m. for NY. I'm on East Coast. Yeah, if it was like that, I would do it like that. But the problem is that it's not like 1:30. Like I have to get up like trade by 4. Like if you look at the volume today came in at one move came in at 6 and another move came in today at 5:30 and 6. The day before, one move came in at 4 o'clock and the other move came in at 5. So it's actually a little bit later. I could actually pull it off. We'll see. Mirko said the same one day and pull back Asian. Yeah, in Europe it's very early Asian session, man. Asian session, like Actually, you guys could stay up late in Europe. That's such a annoying move. Asian Zoom for Wednesday. Yeah, it kind of ruins your London, you know. Looks good on the gap chart. Let's see the gap chart. Yeah, it almost filled the gap. It's a big gap, that is. So very close to filling it. Sharp, I'm in UAE as well. Past days I get up before 6 a.m. and enter like 150 pips on gold. Yeah, I think at 5 a.m. is easy to get up at 5 a.m. But if it pushes before, I'm gonna be pissed. Spread would be higher in Asian? No, because of the volume that is present. Might get up early and buy gold tomorrow. We'll see what happens today. As long as there's structure, you literally just need to press buy, put stop loss below the structure. Because if it breaks the, yeah. No, just buy at the structure, right? Because if it breaks, like no Asian session has broke structure. If it breaks structure, it's game over, right? Any 5, even this is a 5. If you have 15-minute structure and it breaks it, it's fully game over. All respected. So you literally buy, put stop loss below structure, and that's it. Only London session broke structure, you see? Only London session. Which website can tell when there is a bank position? So you want to know the bank position. You have to be careful. You're a retail trader. You're a retail trader. They'll be hunting your stop loss. The minute you place a trade, they're going to be looking for your stop loss, right? You know, make sure lock your door also. Go look for Committee of Traders report. Yeah, it's okay, the Committee of Traders, yeah, in terms of overall. Only joking, man. Yeah, Committee of Traders is probably your best bet. London open here. DAX close bearish on the 5. 1 hour close bullish. I mean, a late position would be buying above this structure here. It's always a risk because it's where the fake outs can happen after we've had a push, but maybe worth 0.75%. Maybe 1% if we can find a spot to manage. If there's 1 minute structure we can manage. So I can even go the 1% and manage below 1 minute structure. Look at GJ. Very good, very good. Previous 4 hour very close. It's weird with the gap chart, man. Gap chart makes it interesting. Let's see with the gap chart. It's basically the 4 hour is the top of the gap, so your goal would be to fill that gap. It's on my broker I have enough room. How much room do we have here? We're talking about 23 points. 23 points ain't bad. There's definitely enough room to do something with it. Today's mixed bias, right? Previous daily is bearish. Ooh. So actually, if this is a big liquidity grab up to move down, how would we want to move down, DAX? Where would we want to move down? We'd actually need a change of structure. All right, how is gold doing here? Gold pulled back after tapping 500. Nothing close below the range. So even my counter bias traders would have to be basing this on the 1 hour. Bro, you've been a little off on GJ. Is that because it became slow? It's tradable, but there's so much better opportunity on other pairs. So why should I make myself... why should I overcomplicate and make it harder for me to trade when there's so many opportunities elsewhere? You know, so it's not that I've gone off on GJ. It's just that there's better opportunity elsewhere and I want to capitalize off that. You know, I'm finding better opportunity in gold, better opportunity in DAX, bigger moves, better moves, cheaper moves. What I mean by cheaper is, you know, commission based and stuff like that is better. Miserable is the word. Why make yourself miserable? Let's be careful with gold looking like consolidation, maybe nothing till NY. Yeah, this is maybe what we can see. Like London has been a little bit like that. You basically get one move and then that's it, game over. Do you only trade the Frankfurt Open until the first hour of London Open? Yeah, so from Frankfurt Open to London Open, and then after London Open, I hang around for like 20 minutes because normally that's when you get the best move. It can happen later, but normally that I just take with the guys in the group. China has been buying massive amounts of gold, so that could explain why Asian session been ripping. Yes. Also, Trump likes to talk at night. In the day, he's too busy playing golf. Too busy playing golf. I had to step away for a minute, so the gold trade I took was a loss. Yeah, I did ask that. I did ask that, how you manage that. And I was telling you how I was saying that this is what I mean. If you can get the smaller stop loss, that was a 40 plus pip move. It should be a plan any day to move break even at 500. Why wasn't moving break even at a key level an option? It's just like marrying your trade because you have such a big stop loss that you don't care. And that's why you want the smaller stop loss. The second thing is, what did you take on DAX, right? And where was that stop loss, you know? Maybe you took this 15 closing above, I'm guessing. 62 for 60. Yeah, if you closed at the wick, it would have worked there, but even that's pushing it tight. Seems like you need to work on stop loss placement. It's really something that's going to cause you issues. You took it there and you put stop loss below what? But what is this stop loss? So you put stop loss below here, but what is this? What is this based on? Not a 15 minute, not a 30 minute. What is this? It's not a 15 minute, man. Don't lie to yourself. There's no 15 there. 15 is down here. So on the gold trade, you use a massive stop loss, and don't move break even and don't care. And as I said, expect it to push hundreds of pips. But on the DAX trade, you take it based on a 5-minute that has just straight candles pushing up, no structure. Rip it at the highs and put stop loss here where you can get stopped out. This is dangerous, man. You need to adjust that. That's what is going to cause you to slip. I'm telling you from now. Okay, today you got out break even. Great. But you need to adjust that stuff, man. This is what's going to cause you. So always, number one rule for you is, do I have proper stop loss placement? Don't think about the entries anymore. Think about your stop loss placement. If your stop loss placement doesn't make sense, forget about the entry. Gold is pulling back. If you're a counter trend seller, starting to come into your areas, can fake out at any time. I feel a fake out soon. Are you planning to buy above that 15-minute? No, I want to, if anything, I want to buy to that 15-minute, not above it. I want to buy to there. Cheers, Janice. Take care, brother. Let's see what, if a DAX starts creating structure to upside, we have options. We have options. Now for the downside, it's actually pretty tough. Really tough until we probably get below here, because here's all messy. We could reject off any of this. We'd actually need a change of structure, would be great if we want to look for the downside. Gold sales don't make sense. I'm not a counter trend trader. I barely am a counter bias trader, but counter trend trader, I really don't like going against high time frame trend. I just lost so much money trying to do that. Because for me at this moment in the current market positioning, every pullback, like ask yourself logically, has it been easier to make money on the pullback or just to buy after the pullback? Literally, if you just press buy after a pullback, you would have made so much easier to make money, because look how much upside you have after pullbacks compared to how much downside you have in a pullback. Is very limited. Now this one could be the big pullback, but how am I supposed to say that it is? This could just, here it could form support, we could start ranging. So I'm not worried about taking sells, because look how much, look at the daily, man. We have so much room for sells. If gold wants to start reversing, there's so much room for sells. You know? I know at any time we can break all-time high. Do you think we might come down and flip the daily? I mean, daily open today is all the way down here. you know, it would, no, sorry, not all the way down here, all the way down here on gold. It's quite a way away. It need to do some work, you know, it's never say never, but the first step that needs to be taken is this: in 1 hour and 47 minutes, closes bearish. That's the first step, because if you have a bearish 4-hour candle, it's going to change bias and there'll be a higher probability to pull back. If this ends up closing doji, weak bearish, it's not really looking like it really wants to dump down further. I still think there is opportunity for upside as well, even if we do dump down. I mean, GJ as well, the counter bias one looks a little bit better now if the next candle was to close above this resistance. 1 hour has a strong bullish candle close. 30-minute would be able to close above as well in 16 minutes, if you can imagine that. This would close bearish here. Next one would close above. That buy would make sense. Even 1 minute strategy, hard to get in on this, huh? Watch out how big the pullbacks can be on these moves. They can be really big pullbacks. Setup 3 in this type of scenario would be actually sick. That would actually make me consider a scalp, because you know you can get out quick. Break the low, wait for a push. If it stops pushing, just get out. DAX has a 5-minute rejection. Yeah, it's rejecting it. So see if anything can close bullish. Tradesharpe, I just breached my funded account today trading gold. I've been doing good last week. Now it's not good. Well, it's obviously not good right now. That's very clear. And it's just a lack of discipline, man. You have to learn the hard way. I know it sucks, but it's very simple. It's just doing stupid things. Stupid things are going to hurt you, man. You have to stay disciplined. Look how disciplined I am, man. But there's a reason why I have success in the market. It's because of this. A lot of people make fun of me because of this. Oh, you don't take trades. Barely take trades. Look at what other people are doing when they do. They're breaching accounts. So we can sit here, gamble, breach account, pass account, breach account, pass account. You know? And it might look like it's a load of fun, but you're not making money. You're not making money. There needs to be a level of discipline. You know? Take 2 losses, even 1 loss, man. I think many people need to learn how to take 1 loss and call it a day before they allow themselves 2. You know? My emotions really control you? Actually, it's not your emotions, it's the charts that control you. This is what I was speaking about yesterday, guys. This is a prime example in that webinar of someone who is controlled. This is what I mean. Imagine he detached himself. Everyone blames their emotions. They think that their emotions is the death of them. But in reality, emotions are normal. We're human. You can't really fight it. You have to learn to live with it. You know, that's kind of like saying that, you know, it's kind of like saying if you get shot, you won't feel pain. It's like, what? You know, or, you know, it doesn't make sense. So you have to learn to live with it. But that's a prime example of why I made that webinar yesterday. Right? Because that webinar would help someone like him. when you learn to detach yourself. Changes a lot, trust me. DAX setup 2 on 5-minute time frame valid. It's not the best. It's not the best, but if we settle that today is going to be bullish, it can work, yeah. Most of the time we want setup 5, but we have to see where this closes, man. If this closes all the way up here, it's game over. Like a lot of setup 2s on DAX kind of fail. $15 close back in the range as well. Yeah, but the 30 looks okay. I mean, I prefer setup 5 on 5-minute. This would be like a thumbs up, you know, type of thing, where I feel very confident about that. Compared to this. When would you use setup 5 on 1 minute? It's a great question. I think I would use that if I was full bullish bias in a scenario where I'm pretty confident today is going to go up, like it makes sense for it. And realistically, I just need a way in. You know, I need a way in that will give me a stop loss placement and just give me an entry. You know, those days on DAX where we're very confident. Today's mixed bias, a little bit different. But there's days where it's just super clear that makes total sense for DAX to go up. London Open gives us a beautiful pullback. And we just need to find a way in. That's why I was actually looking at 1 minute right now to see if there was that type of thing that happened. And there was kind of this one here, but it was a very tight close. So in those areas, you'd be a yes. That would kind of be how it would be together, right? It would be a 5 minute. Yeah, that would be fine. Even just to rip it off, like let's say previous 1 hour close strong bullish above your range. And then the next one is making a bottom wick. You're kind of trying to find the bottom of that bottom wick, right? Because you're buying once that structure is created, expecting that 1 hour to flip. So your idea is based on the 1 hour, but you use the lower time frame to continue your higher time frame idea. All right, candle closed here. We saw no bottom wick. It is making a bottom wick right now. It is rejecting off that previous 15-minute range. The more and more I look at this, the more I like having a setup 5 actually form. See if we can. Look, you could try take it, break of high, and then manage below this 1 minute structure. How satisfied am I that today is going to be bullish 100%? Okay, that's a great informative candle. It's actually exactly what we needed to see that happen first. Yeah, that's great. I'm happy that happened first, because that's what I was scared about, this candle coming. But I was scared it would break the high first, trigger me, and then this candle comes. I saw, makes sense for this candle to come. Yeah. Okay, great. Now I feel very confident if we leave here, it should make sense to take a buy. Yeah, this makes total sense now. And especially if this next, so then we get the setup 5 anyways, right? Because this candle will close bearish, next one will close bullish above. You kind of get the setup 5. So now I feel confident with that. That's exactly what I like to see. Not only that, that would close the 15-minute bullish as well. Yeah, that makes total sense. 5-minute setup 5, 15-minute bullish. So much more confirmations. Higher chance to win. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So happy I didn't FOMO into it. Yeah, we actually could see if we can get in a little earlier based on how this 5 closed, because that's the pullback I just wanted to happen. So there's even a potential I impulsively try enter on the highs here. But it depends on how this 5 closes. Closes weak, it's like a thunderstorm. If you remove drawings, it will look a lot clearer. You see that? If you enter there on the highs. Appreciate subscribing to the channel. Make sure you guys are subscribed to the channel. Hopefully you enjoyed this weekend's video, guys. My how to use the 5-minute, basically. Yeah, you guys cooking on that. 6.1. Let's run it up. Make sure you go watch this video. Watch it. Always asking me that same question. 5-minute, Harry. How do I use 5-minute? There you go. That's how I use it, man. So I want this to actually close bearish here to give me like a thunderstorm. Be about 40 point stop loss. Oh, come on. Close bearish. 40 points. I like to see a bottom wick be made. I have no bottom wick, of course. I really want to see a bottom wick be made. That kind of breaks my rules, but I really wanted the entry there. I swear if this pushes like this, I'm just going to be so upset. Really, I even zoomed in on my monitor here to see if there's a nipple one. Bottom wick on broker, then take it. Sure. I don't have on broker, that's for sure. I mean, it doesn't get clearer than this, does it, guys? If you can argue with me that this has on broker, then take it. But this is, I'm just trading what I see. And I tell you what I see. So you guys should take it. If you have bottom wick, take it. It's not going to affect me. You should be in. That, and then you'd be break even at this next 15. Boom. Beautiful trade. Take it, take it. If you have bottom wick, take it. There you go, perfect. Break even at this spot and you're good. I just have to trade what I say. So if you guys have bottom wick on your broker, then that was the position. It would look something like this. Breaking this high. Now, check on your broker if it tapped the 15-minute resistance. Mine is like a pip away. So the way I would manage this with it being a pip away is I'd let this 1-minute price action form and then see what happens with the 1-minute price action. But yeah, that was the position. If you managed to get in, great. I literally had my buy stop ready, but just was waiting for that bottom wick on my broker. As I always use that. So I have to keep that consistent, right? I have to keep that consistent. And there wasn't enough time to cross-check with everyone else. If there was enough time to cross-check with everyone else, maybe I could argue it. But I have to keep that consistent, because if I'm going to rely on my broker to use bottom on top wicks, if I start to change that and don't rely on it, it's going to affect my results. So you have to keep that consistent. Then you'd be out B. I think, let's see how this 1 minute. This 1 minute can retest here and still be fine. 15 minute, yeah, I think on a safe scenario, I definitely would be out break even here. Definitely. So it's not that bad, but ideally I'd be look for 1 minute structure to form. So I would chance it. It's up to you if you want to chance it, because 1 minute structure hasn't been created. This could just be another higher low. I was hoping it actually made a bottom wick, and I was gonna re-enter once it made a flip here, because it would just be a 15 minute as well. I was really hoping. So here's the 1 minute structure. Now this is nice. When you have this, if it breaks this, it looks pretty much game over. This is where I'd be 100% saying, okay, that's it. Now probabilities are against you, compared to this where it does make sense to be safer, but you know, both ways are really fine. Just the safest way, like I said, for me, realistically, on a safe position, I would be out already. But if I was holding, I'd wait for this 1 minute to close bullish, and then anything breaking that, I'd be out. So those are your two ways to manage. Gold setup 3 could come. Let's see, man. 1 minute, true. We needed to close weak though. This 5 has to create a good resistance. 53 seconds. I mean, if it's been doing the business it has been doing, and last 20 seconds pushing, we could see that push for it to become weak. What is stop looking like? 90 pips. Pretty nasty stop, man. Pretty nasty stop. We have the range, but it's pretty nasty stop. But we have the range. Harry, is German 40 during London like the Nasdaq for NY session? Yes. Same indices. It's not the same indice, but I mean it works like indices. I'd say German 40 is more actually it's unique. It's kind of like a mix of US 30 and Nasdaq together, because not as fast as US 30, but it's still fast. I wouldn't say Nasdaq is slow though. We have this 50-minute here. The only thing that I'm just not a counter trend trader. As much as this setup makes sense, if you are a counter trend trader, nice top wick being made. If it breaks the low here, you have an option. You will have to run you could run stop loss above current wick actually. So however high this wick becomes, you could run that, because if it flips up, you're done. You actually want it to break the low and drive. If it breaks the low and messes about, it's not looking good, bro. It's not looking good. Cheers, man. Take care. If it breaks previous high, we call it. Yeah. Is it good to focus on max 3 pairs? Because I see most of the time I win on EU and gold better than other pairs. Does every pair move different? Yes. They don't. They have small tendencies. If you win on EU and gold, then make those your 2 top pairs. Trade EU and gold and leave the rest. That's how it is as a trader, man. Why would you try trade something else if you're winning on something else? Okay, this broke the high, so now stop loss is cooked anyway. So counter trend selling, no. Buys for later, yes. Yes. DAX rejecting from that resistance there. Would have broke 1 minute structure there. Boom, that's your breaker 1 minute structure, and now looking like it wants to go down. So I think it would have been the right decision out at break even. Or you actually managed like this, depending on how bullish you were today. The cool thing is that if we get back above here with an actual closure, we can get the buy we wanted. Now for sells, because we are mixed bias, right? Remember, that is why I'm not most satisfied on buys today only. If we were full bullish, I'd be ripping buys, trying my maximum way to get in. But we're not. We're mixed. So below here, possible to fill the wiki, but you need a perfect close. Nice, this 5 stop here, next 5 close below, give you stop loss above that 5, and then you have 8 pips to here, break even, and then see if you can get the volume. You know, that would be how it works. Or you just get the buys with a close above. So we'll see, we'll see. We have options now though. It's possible this can also flip up and close above here in the last 1 minute. I've seen that happen before, of course. It is DAX at the end of the day. Could be entering break of this high here. Stop loss 39, target 43. Possible. You have enough range. You have enough range. Last 1 minute though, so it has to get some sort of do some sort of business, not get some sort of business. Looks like it is struggling though. Gold looks nice on 5 minute. Let's see what gold is doing on 5 minute. Yep. It doesn't look too bad, but stop loss here is around 100 pips. Your target here is 60. It's not going to make sense. We need a low to be confirmed. Your best buys are actually going to be back inside this 15-minute range. That's your best buys right now. Okay, DAX closing down bearish here as well. If this next candle closes below here bearish, there's a sell option. Closing back above here is a buy option, so it can go either or way right now. Inside here is just going to range and be a load of BS. Leave that. Gold, I'm actually looking for more buys here for me on gold. So depending on how gold gets back in this range, I would love to see what I typically see is gold come here, probably retest, do a pullback, range, and then NY give us the continuation. Even if NY fails, at least we get some sort of continuation. That's ideal scenario. If the 4-hour close is bearish, then obviously your selling will be below these lows here, and that's the option you'll be able to take. To buy gold right where it is right now, it's possible, but it's just, are you convinced that this is the low here, right? Because you're not trying to catch a quick scalp. It doesn't make sense. Even a scalp stop loss of 80 pips for a target of 50 makes no sense. So you're actually looking for the bigger move, meaning that this will be the low that is made, and you're looking to at least get back up into these highs or get something decent. So there's nothing really 100% confirming me that this is the lows right now. But what will give me confidence is if we close back inside the range. Closing back inside the range would be something where it shows me that this is just not a retest, because we have made a lower low. There's a question mark right now. Can we make a lower high? So that's what I'm looking for. Let's see what ends up happening. Good session. Unfortunately, gold has actually cooked us with those random moves. I think today a lot of setups were there ready to happen, but they just didn't finish it off, right? They didn't give us the close or something, and that's part of the game. The question is, are you going to be on the right or wrong side of the coin, and stay disciplined to understand you have to wait for your move. Everything outside of that is just randomness. Now DAX can still set up if it decides to get out of the range from either the up or downside. Right now it looks like it's trying to work its way back towards the upside. So let's see how this candle closes in 3 minutes. I might stay for this candle close. We'll see. 3 minutes here. Yeah, I can wait 3 minutes for you guys. I'm doing a special gift today. 3 minutes I'm waiting. And we'll see if this closes above. Because if it closes above, it's valid. I think we still have range here. Looking at 33 pips for 49. Definitely tradable, you know. Definitely tradable. Break even at the 15. It's nothing crazy. That 15 is also an hourly level. Yeah, previous 1 hour. But we can trade back towards it, right? As long as we're not at it. But right now it's looking like it's going to close bearish. It's a little bit boring. But maybe the sells come, right? Because really now it's up or down, really. In this zone it's up or down. Just has to choose. The thing is, the downside stop loss I don't like. Upside makes sense, but downside 50 points for a target of 40 points. It's why I really wanted this next 5 to make a small top wick and then close below. Look at the difference. The difference here is then your stop loss is like 24 points. Ah, now it makes sense. Break even after 15, 16 points. Even here can break even after 10 points. Target 39 points. Aha. Now it's all making sense. Yep, and then it does that. Sweet. So it protected us. No stop loss placement today. We are seeing moves through the ranges, but that's about it. Appreciate you all showing up. Gonna catch you tomorrow, guys. Big stream. Let's go tomorrow. Finish the month strong here. We have how many more weeks we have at this month? We have this week and next week, basically. We have half of we have till Wednesday. So 2 more weeks to this month. Make sure we kill it. End of the month strong, and that's what we have to make sure of, right? That's what's more important. End the month strong. And yeah, let's get it, guys. Take care. Appreciate you all showing up. Hopefully see you tomorrow. Leave a subscribe, leave a like, share the stream, all of that good stuff. We need to grow it. And let's go, guys. Cheers, cheers, cheers. Take care, take care. Peace. Hopefully see you soon.